Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to our Making Mughals campaign in EU4 with me, your host Luckymarine, and it might look a little different to it. It did signing off last night on the episode, and it's because I was stupid. I mean, it's not beyond the realms of possibility that I'm stupid, and I forgot to press the record thing. But we've only gone a couple of days, but a lot happened in those couple of days. I accepted the demands of the particular lists. And what happened there was, wow, out of breath, been up and down the stairs. I've got pies in the oven, so this episode definitely needs to end on 25 minutes any longer, and I will have burnt pies. Anyway, I accepted the demands of the particular lists, and it increased the autonomy of all the stuff in all the provinces by 30%. Now there'll be a portion of these provinces that are already up at 70%. The majority of these provinces are also not proper states. Therefore, the minimum they could get down to 75%. Difference between 75% autonomy province and 75 with 30 added to it is neither here nor there. But what it also afforded us the ability to do was to drop autonomy in a shitload of places, and by a shitload, everything that you see there that's in red, we dropped. Now every time you drop the autonomy in a place, you increase your absolutism. Now, I think we had 3 absolutism when we pieced out with Ming. After dropping all this, we now have 34 absolutism. So the particular lists, it was almost a blessing in disguise, and we probably shouldn't have fought their stacks. We should have just accepted their demands. But it now means that our stacks are free to take out all the other rebels. Don't need you. So our situation has suddenly got just that little bit better. Kind of. 18% inflation, wow. Inflation, yeah, no. Anyway, onwards and upwards. Let's split off once you get there. Actually, we're going to be better off splitting off a cannon, aren't we? We don't have the infantry to be splitting them off. Who was this taken by? Utsang separatists. Got rid of them a long time ago, I think. Or a while ago, anyway. Stack up in Bastar. Interesting country to play as a Bastar. Starts under a PU with Oriet. Not Oriet. Orissa, I think. We'll do a shift consolidate. Anyone who doesn't feel like fighting can just sit on the sidelines and, I don't know, show support. Applaud, maybe? I don't know. And we'll go hit them. We continue. Somebody crossed into our land. Some rebel. I don't know. Anyway, onwards. Done. You continue straight on down. Let's have you heading this way. Discontent zone by Ming. It's got to that point in the game where you're always going to have your merchants landed. You're always going to have discontent zone. There's no way to get beyond it, really. Ten years of separatism. Love it. And away you go. Reverse course, of course. Anything that gives us a little bit more missionary strength. Stop, 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 stop. Cossack's reward justice, 5 prestige, nice, lose prestige. Alright, well we traded prestige for prestige. Not the end of the world. I think it's probably about time that we moved our capital. It's a little too isolated where it is. Well, it is beyond the forts. Although the Ottomans can just get through here. Don't know. I'll look into it. Okay, you three. Away we go. Also, can we decrease the autonomy in any of the places that we've unsieged? Can't decrease the autonomy if it's in a siege province. Yeah, not really. No. Alright. Need 21,000 to get. Oh, will you fuck off? Oh my word. Really? Russia? Russia. Well, we've got to go put our rebels down. We'll go put our rebels down first, and then we'll turn our attentions to fucking Russia. Fucking Russia. We're getting that party. It's painful, but it needs to happen. That'll be painful as well, but it needs to happen. Denmark wants to give us loans because he is not friends with Russia. Oh, Sakaja's in on it as well. Who's in this fight? Trusty Silesia, of course. Russia, Sakaja's been dragged into it because of, yeah, stuff and things. Is this how it's going to be? We're not going to get 2 seconds to ourselves. Need that. Cold diet. Bosnia religious tax. Sort of wipe our face in terms of the stuff that we need to fully reinforce. Kochi separatists, Venardi separatists. What's wrong with you two? I'll treat them for 50 mil power. Yep. Another two absolutism. Nope. Don't need no loans. And we'll do the same thing with Russia that we did to Ming, I think. Allow him in. Allow him to expend all his manpower. He's on Miltech 19. Okay. Yep. And then the Ottomans will kick off. Might be game over if the Ottomans kick off as well. Let's start heading up north. Relieve a siege. I keep meaning to upgrade this fort. And never do. Or at least to stop the siege of Trebizond. If we ever get there in time. No, because he sensed our presence. And we won't get there. Okay, let's bring you back. Well. What a time to be alive. That's a show superiority war. How do we win this? I don't know. We're against quite a few people here. Maybe untapping Ming when we did wasn't the best of ideas. Not until we got a handle on the Ottomans, but then Europe has just melted away into nothing, allowing the Ottomans far too much expansion. We held our own against the Ottomans. And there's no rival of rival, because every rival that they have is a rival of ours as well. Ugh. Plus it's Russia with its Streltskys. And the whole, what is it, March to the East thing that they've got, where they just send out explorers for free. Wow, that game that we played, that Muscovy game that we played, it was so overpowered that he was, and that's the thing what they do with Paradox, isn't it? They did it with Ming, they did it with Russia. Who next? Who do they have to sell copies of EU4 to? Probably the Americans. They'll probably make a country in America that's like really good, or a couple. They'll develop the American natives anyway to the point where they're actually interesting to play in an attempt to sell more copies to the Americans. They've already done it with the Chinese. They've already done it with the Russians. As strong as we are, we can't do this. We'll limp our way through a fight with the Russians and the Ottomans, and then we'll just get thrown into a fight against the Ming again, and then it'll just be Was it a career game that I had? I think it was a career game where I ate my way around Ming, but we ended up against the Bahmanis that was here. They're taking pretty much most of India. Ottomans that were here, a Russia that was here, and it was constant. It was Russia declare war, we beat them back. Not even have time to recover. Then the Ottomans would declare war, and then the Bahmanis would declare war, and it was just constant. Good job we went quantity, isn't it? But we'll muddle through. Where do we want to be? Let's head south. Let's head away from all this. I might sound a little bit exasperated because I'm a little bit. Probably brought it on myself with opening up Ming, but the sooner you do it, usually the better. I didn't expect to be rivals with all of them. I also wanted to be friends with Ethiopia a little bit longer, but can't have everything. Okay. This is all terrible. I don't like it. Losing sieges of stuff. Yeah, go on then. Oh. Still this province where we need to take it back. Okay, okay. And a gift from the Austrians. How about instead of sending us gifts, you present something against the Ottomans? Historically accurate, I suppose. Infighting in Europe means that the Ottomans get to push in. Great. Don't think we need claims. Right, if we can get across here and fight these, might be an opportunity. It'll take the straight crossing. Here's only farms though. I'll take the discipline. So he's crossed the strait onto a fort. With one maneuver, and that one maneuver has allowed him to sidestep the straight crossing penalty that he would have got for this engagement. Because you don't magically get rid of the straight crossing just because you're on the island. Because you're on the province. Because it's got a fault on it, you retain every single malice that you took to get into there, whether it be a river crossing or a straight crossing or anything like that. And they just don't have the straight crossing. Which is what I was relying on. Which means this is a lost fight. Well, I have my pie to get to. Or my pies, plural. So I'm going to leave this here. This might be the end. I don't like when stuff like this happens. I especially don't like when shit like this happens. You make all the calculations, you think they're on a hostile fort. They're going to have dragged in a straight crossing penalty onto there. It might do enough to turn the tide in my favour. But no. I don't know, this might be it. This might be the end of the Mughals. It was a a game where I was getting my eye back into to EU4, which it has done. It's also reminded me of why I dislike it at times. But no, we're caught in a perfect storm, and it's not going to end. It will not end. Ming or fighters, and then it'll turn into the Ottomans fighting us, and then it'll be Russians fighting us, and then it'll be Ming again, and Russians, and then the Ottomans, until we get smaller and smaller, because we just won't be able to reclaim enough manpower quickly enough. I mean, we've got full quantity, and when's the last time we were up at 100,000 manpower? 70,000 manpower. Maximum of 74. I'm sure it was higher than that before. Anyway, yeah. We should have probably not opened up Ming. Should probably have concentrated on just the Ottomans. Stomp them into the dirt before turning our attention to Ming. I didn't realise that the Ottomans would have such an easy life over here. Which they haven't. They've had no one kicking back at them. The Russians aren't involved. In fact, I think the Ottomans ended up taking stuff off the Russians at some point, didn't they? No, you don't have a truce with the Ottomans. Ottomans don't have a truce with you. So yeah, we're just the kicked dog in this whole scenario. I wouldn't be surprised if the Ethiopians ended up kicking off. Yeah. Interesting. Well, I'm going to leave it there, unfortunately. Not quite taking more score, but that one battle was big enough. What would you want from this? All of that. And we might be able to get a coalition against them. Well, who else is going to join a coalition against the Russians? No one. Why? Too big. Ottomans, what do you want? Thing is, you start giving things to the Ottomans and they just take more and more and more and more and more. It's going to be the same with the Russians. Anyway, I'm going to leave it here, ladies and gentlemen. I certainly need to go to my pies. Not going to do another one today, I don't think. I'll come back and do this in the future. Give myself a couple of days to calm down a little bit. May even start another one in another part of the world. I know it's a bit shit to dump it when things are going wrong, but I can already know. I already see it in my mind that this has gone so wrong that there's no saving this. With the amount of enemies that we have around us, with the amount of debt that we're in, we're not only skirting the hole, this is plummeting, and it's my fault. A few wrong turns, and that's all it takes with campaigns. So if your campaigns come to a shuddering end, then don't be disheartened, because it happens to everybody. You only have to make 3 wrong decisions and suddenly you end up in a mess like this. Looking forward, if we were to do the Mughals again, I mean, I might well continue with this one. If we were to do the Mughals again, I'd want to do it with someone less obvious than the Timurids. Maybe Tabaristan. Something like that. One of these guys up here, maybe. Just to make it a little bit more of a challenge, because no offense to anybody who's struggling with the Timurids. Again, you're only 2 or 3 clicks away from the Timurids just cutting themselves in half and Persia popping out. So it is quite a difficult country to keep together. But if you can keep it together, it's quite easy to form the Mughals from them. But no, we'll see. I mean, the Paradox is bringing out the new update, which involves provinces up here and provinces down here somewhere, I think. I'm going to have another check of when that comes out. But yeah, this is, for me, I think you have to note it down as a fail, don't you? Yeah, I would class this as a fail. We failed. I failed. I don't know why I'm lumping you in with my my mistakes. I failed on this quite spectacularly. We should have cut the Russians off from expansion east. We should have kept Ming, kept Oryat in between us and Ming, and then focus down the Ottomans until they were no more. Focus down the Ottomans, focus India, consolidate both areas, and then opened up Ming. Oh, Denmark and Scandinavia. I like that Andalusia formed. Even players struggle to form Andalusia. That's pretty cool. We might do a Morocco run, actually. Morocco into Andalusia. That'll be fun. Anyway, I've been Luckymarine. As always, you lot have been amazing. My pies await, and they're going to burn soon if I wait any longer. This is probably going to be the end, but I will keep this save. I might come back and resurrect the Mughals as a bit of a challenge. Trick myself into trying to save the Mughals from the grasps of the 2 superpowers that are in the world. Yeah, ridiculous. But until then, do take care.